And gentlemen, welcome to our webinar 3. I'm so glad to be here with you today. I wanted to say in our last webinar, we looked at budgets and the difference between needs and wants. We looked at the entrepreneurial mindset. So I just want to recap from webinar 2. The things that we really need to remember is to know we need to prioritize our spending according to our needs. And when we budget, we prioritize and then include some wants where it's possible. So we need to constantly check really essential needs are, and also remember how you need to communicate. This is a very sensitive issue, especially with our families, but also with our creditors as we have. Also know that as an entrepreneur, you need to have some quality so that you can be successful in your business. And also there are skills and traits that, and some of those we can definitely learn, as we are growing in our business. So today we're just gonna go through the webinar and coaching timetables, because this is an 8-month program to know where we are and where we're going. Let's look at that. So for today, let's look at the agenda first. So we're going to look at the importance of budgeting for your business, and then we're going to look at separate and business finance, and then we are going to talk to the business model, and then just close and have announcements. And then I would like us to look at the webinar timetable. We are at webinar 3 right now. Gone through the budgeting and entrepreneurship mindset, which was on the 22nd of June. And now we are at separation of personal and business finance and the business model canvas. This is the 12th of August today. And then on the 2nd of September, we'll be looking at webinar 4, which will deal with financial recording, costing, and goal setting. And then we'll move to webinar 5. There we'll be looking at our financial calculations and our as we know, there's a lot of numeracy that goes into running a business, and we really need to understand calculations and how to get to our profits, what is our turnover, cost. And then webinar 6 will be looking at credit management, saving, and our mental health and finances, and scams that are out there, because we are dealing with. And then we'll move to webinar 7. I know everybody gets excited about marketing, and then we'll move into the business model canvas, where we'll also be linking to financials. And then we'll move to webinar 8, financial interpretation, compliance, and funding requirements. I know this is also one of the most interesting topics, and I know we're not accountants, but as business people, we really need our numbers. We need to understand what are the costs that are involved in our businesses. And are we making a profit? And also, are we, just checking money coming in, money going out, and also looking at our assets, like our cash balances and our balance sheets, and what we own in our business as assets. Move to webinar 9, which is the most last webinar, where you will be allowed to pitch your business to people who do that very well, and we'll get this program from the webinars that we'll be doing and the code. And then our other intervention that we think will really assist entrepreneur in this program will be our coaching interventions. So we have sessions that are divided into 2. We'll have group A and B 2, and there are different interventions that we are going to talk to and topics. The first group sessions, we're going to have it on the 19th of August, and there we'll be looking at goals, how to identify the goals, plan and prioritize your business actions and account, and also we'll be looking at your budgeting sheet and your action plan. So this is very important at the beginning of coaching, because we really need to know what your goals are and how you're going to reach them. Move into a very personal one, a personal touch, where we'll visual coaching. There we will obviously come up with a going to say, okay, this is your appointment today. I'm going to sit with you for an hour. Located a coach. Here you'll be able to submit your action plans, your budget, and work on coach. So you're getting a one-on-one coaching session there. And that's going to happen to the 9th of September. And then we'll have another group coaching session that's going to take the 30th of September. And there we'll be dealing with the business model canvas, recordings, costing, and also we can do a little bit of pitch practice and give how you are going to do your pitching. It could be a customer, it could be a supplier that you want to convince or talk to or negotiate. And so you need to know how to present your business to the different. And then we'll have another individual coaching session that's going to be on the 17th through the. They will be dealing with financial recording, costing your products and services, and the pitch practice, and also you need to submit a costing sheet. So we'll work on how costing sheet for your business. And even if you have different products or services, you can and cost them, put your markups and see and understand also your direct and indirect. And then we'll move to another group coaching that's going to happen on the 11th of, and there we'll be dealing with your financial management, which is your cash flow, your income statement, a bit of the balance sheet. And then we'll also move again to individual coaching, where you're going to submit your cash flow and an income statement. You'll prepare for your pitch deck, and then we'll you'll also be able to talk to your coach and talk about your business performance, how far were you able to achieve the goals that you set, and also your coach will be able to give you performance report or your growth plan. We can move to the next slide. So now we are going to talk to our first topic, which is separating finance. Okay, why do we need to budget in our businesses? I think it's important because you've got your personal finance, where it's your household. There it's your groceries, your family finances, school fees, and all that. And if you're running a business, those costs need to be set. And why do we need to budget, for our business? So we need to understand, why is it important to personal and business finance, and why do you think it's important to develop a canvas? And that we'll talk to later. But for now, we're just going to focus on the separation of business finance. So maybe let's talk about the budget, because I know the last time we spoke about budget, but now we are going to talk about a budget now. So a budget is a plan that outlines your company's financial operational goals. It's like an action plan, because if you don't plan, you are not going to know how much are your costs for your products or services. So you need to budget the things that are going to happen in your business. And then let's look maybe at the importance. Why should we budget for our business? Planning your budget will help you set those realistic, for your business, knowing where your money is going. Like we said, from the personal budget, where your household money is going. So with this one also, you still want to know where your company is going, which are your expenses, and that could be a variable or your fixed cost. And then your money is coming in. That would be your income. And income could be coming from it could be from another side hustle we have, and maybe the other business. So you need to really understand where the income is coming from and where your expenses are going. Let's look also further. It's not only this that it's about planning, but there's also other advantages to budgeting for your business and separating your finances. It gives you direction. It helps you read easily, because you know that this month, it's August. I want to have 100 hoodies, so it gives you, and then you know what you're expecting from the hoodies. What was the cost of making those 100 hoodies? What are the sales that you're going to selling the 100 hoodies? And if you don't reach that target, you can still always go back to your budget. Prepare a budget to achieve expected profits and monitor your expenses. So you want to control expenses in your company, because and that's why I think budgeting is so important. You need to pay to SARS. Keeping all records will help you when it's time to take to get your or to submit your tax returns. Yeah. Let's move on again. I know incentives too, so I know away from tax, but I know that our tax experts in one of our webinars will be talking, so what are the benefits of that. So let's go into two more important for businesses. We have a couple of budgets that deal with, but I think the most important really for any business would be your sales budget, your expenditure budget. So let's look at the sales budget. A sales budget is just typically used to plan, because if you know you're going to sell the 100 hoodies, you know who you're, and you know how you're going to market the 100 hoodies. So it's really used as a, and also you can project your sales using your budgeting budget here. So it really guides you and gives you an understanding of how much you're selling and what you're expecting to receive. And then we a budget, and I know this one, I don't even like it myself, it's expenditure budget. But when you're spending, it's not exciting. So I'm going to say budget just shows you how much money you are allowed to spend on certain and at a certain time. And then, for example, we know that there are costs that you can't, and those are your fixed costs. For example, your telephone, your rent, your salaries, you can never get away from that. It doesn't matter how much money you make. Depending in the business, you are liable of those. You need to pay those expenses. Business. So those are our expenditure budgets. So if you budget, you know that expenses for the month. I know I'm making the hoodies, but the hoodies fall under the variable cost stock. But then I'm running a shop. I need to pay for my rent for my shop, so I stay open to pay the person or people who are helping me in my business. And I need to buy stock, so it means I use transport. So transport costs are also part of those fixed costs from them. And it's always nice when you budget, you do expenditure budget, because then you know for next month expenses. And also you can make a decision. If those expenses are too much, you tell them if you're budgeting properly, because you can say, oh, I think the rental is too, I can maybe reduce that cost, and how do I reduce that cost? I will not know I need to reduce the cost if I don't do my budgeting and understand my expenses. Yeah. Let's so personal and business finance can help you ensure that you treat your business like an independent. And I think that's why we talk about compliance sometimes, that you have a separate business account, because remember, it's an entity, so it's its own independent entity. So you need to protect finances by separating the two. So separating your business finance can help you ensure that you protect your personal finances, like I said. Also benefits, there's benefits to actually doing this. So maybe let's what are the benefits of separating your personal and business. So you can easily track your cash flow, you can be more efficient, you can take advantage of tax benefits and deductions, you can own personal assets from legal liability, you can build a business in credibility, because that entity has a name and it's working with suppliers, it's building a reputation. So you can access some business services that could be from your banks or from other financial institutions who support small businesses. There's a lot of requirements. If you want to apply for a business loan, you would have to have a registered that has a business account so that people can see the transactions that, or the banks can see that there is the transactions that are happening in your business. You are buying, there is movement of money. And also with support, business support organizations really want to see your bank statements for your business. So there is no way that you can keep your personal money in the same place. You have to definitely set. I think we are done. We are done now with business budgeting and actually knowing how to separate our personal finance and business finance. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is still part of our webinar 3 topic. Today we'll be looking at the business model canvas, which is known as the BMC. I know, oh, what is the BMC? So the BMC is a business model canvas. It helps us, it gives us a structure of a business plan in one go. I know when everybody thinks of a business plan, they think of this big document, a lot of pages with a lot of numbers, but I think you still need some guideline of how you can actually write your business plan. So the BMC actually gives you that structure of the business plan in just that one. A business model canvas describes the rationale of how an organization creates and captures value. Yeah, so you've got this in just this one page, but it has blocks. So there are 9 blocks that make up your business model canvas. That I think it's so important for everyone's business, because you don't have business customers, and you won't be successful if you don't actually understand what your customers want to buy, who are they. So those are the first one would be your payments, and then your value proposition. We've got customer relationships, we've got revenue streams, we've got key activities, key resources, key partnerships, cost structure. And I'm thinking you guys are thinking, oh, what are these? So I'm going to just look at what these 9 blocks really are businesses, because every business, your big business, small business, actually needs. You cannot operate your business without actually tackling each of these carefully, especially when you're starting out. You're starting out, that's why you go out there and do your research. Understand who's going to buy this product from me, and what am I selling, why, and if they're doing what I'm doing, or that's my competition, how can I beat them? So you go out there and do this research and understand what are the channels that you're going to use to distribute your product, how you're going to price your product. But I just would like to go into, with every block of the BMC. So now let's these 9 blocks. So with customer segments, I can say what you really need to understand. It's who, and what are they thinking? What do they want to see? What do they feel? What, can they even afford the products or services that you are offering? So one about their customers, they need to understand them, and they need to be sure that they will buy and will need that product or service. So it's important to actually profile your customers. You don't have one customer because we're selling different products. So that's where the segmentation comes. There could be young people who are buying, young women who are buying weaves, hair pieces, and then you've got males who are maybe having, that's all they do. And yeah, so you can see that the customers, but you still need to understand where they're coming from and what are their needs. Will they really actually even affording to buy your products and services? And then the value proposition. This is a very important one. Know what's compelling about your proposition. Why do customers buy from you? Why do you your product? So, and what is unique about your product or service? So, and I always say that you have this unique selling proposition or value proposition, you will need to industry, understand your industry, know your market, and know what your competitors are doing out there. And also know, what is your direct competitors and indirect competitors, because there's direct and indirect, but also know what they're doing. How can you capitalize what they're doing and you do it better? So I think your value proposition is very important, and I know come up when we do our pitching. So you need to convince the panel, that you've got your business is unique. Your proposition is compelling. People are definitely going to buy from you, and you're going to make money, because no one is going to invest in your not making a profit, because usually people, when they invest in your business, they want a return on. So you really need to understand your value proposition. And then we look at the channels. So how are these propositions promoted, sold and delivered, and why that? So there are a lot of people, I know there are people who use distributors as people's their product. Some people use their own customers actually to sell their product. So if you've got a customer that's happy, they usually promote your business. They tell people about your business. That's a channel. E-commerce website, you can be using that to sell your products. You can be using people buy, and then you have a delivery system where you deliver their products. Yeah, so this is important. So these are the things that you need to decide on. How am I going to reach my customer? And then what's very, very important, that's obviously linked to our customer segments, because reaching your customer, you'd also need to know, how do you keep your customers? So customer relations, one of also the most important blocks of the BMC. How do you interact with the customer through their journey? How do you reward them and keep them coming back for your services? Also referring more people to you. So I always say that customer is king. We really need to take care of these relationships so that we have repeated and people always come back to us. And, also, just try and receive. Another way to maybe strengthen your relationship with your customers, always get from your customers. But also, write an email. If it's a client, write an email, say, thank you for your, we value your support, and maybe use actually to just to get feedback of if the customers are happy or not. And I think that's so important for all of us. And then let's talk to revenue. How does your business earn revenue from your different value proposition? Revenue streams are the various income sources that channel money into your business or your bank account. So you need to definitely understand where it's coming from. So you could be providing different services that are definitely not the same or connected at all. But how do you know that one is working, the other one is not working? Yeah. So you need to really understand your revenue streams. And there are examples of recurring revenue. Like I'll just make an example with some big businesses like your Netflix, DSTV. I think it's a nice example because they've got different. And I think you'll also remember when we do the there are different revenue streams, and that could be like your subscription fees, your advertising, your usage fees, your third-party licensing, your renting, leasing, your assets. So those are the different revenue streams that you can have. Let's look at the key activities. What uniquely strategic things to deliver its proposition? So this is how you know that this is how my operations look. If I am making hoodies, what are the activities that go in making that hoodie? I have to go buy material, I have to cut the pattern. From the pattern, it goes to the machine, sewing machine, it goes to nicely cutting threads, and ever it goes to ironing, it goes to packaging. So those are the activities that are happening for you to get that product out there. So you also need to have that operation. This is the things that are happening for me to get the product out. So obviously is money. For you getting somebody to maybe it's money because that's labor. And then there's somebody needs to clean it up nicely. There's also money. You need to buy the packaging materials for it, and then it has to still be delivered. So that's also cost involved. So you need to really what your key activities are, so you can also understand your operational costs. And then key resources. So these definitely won't have a business if you don't have them. The unique strategic assets that your business has, uh, or machinery do you need to actually produce your products and services. If I am making, I need a sewing machine, I need an overlocker, I need an industrial iron, I need an industrial ironing board. And then I need someone who's gonna doing the sewing of that hoodie. So those are the key resources. I need a vehicle to transport my goods and services. So those are the key resources to actually run your business. And if you don't have them, you cannot run your business. You have to outsource them. And then we look at the key partnerships. So what can the company not do so it can focus on its key activities? What partners? There's always suppliers that you need to have a relationship with. It's important to probably 2 reliable suppliers. It's not good to rely on one supplier, I always say that, but you have to build those partnerships. Other partnerships, bank, that helps with your overdraft, and now and then when you need extra money. So key partnerships are very important, and also maybe your customer, them as your partnership, your mentor. Your mentor is your partner. So key partnerships to actually keep our business running. And then the cost structure. It's obviously finances. What are the business major cost drivers, and how to your revenue? So you need to understand what brings you money. I guess it's when we go deeper into it, it's actually just financial management. Knowing where your money is coming from and where it's going. So you must always know what your major costs are, and so that you can plan better. And obviously that's linked to and how are they linked? You need to understand that. Yeah. So this business model canvas, and I think we'll deal more with it during our coaching and our one-on-one coaching sessions, which we call coaching sessions. But I just want to let the group remember. So our announcements for today is to remember that you can be contacted in-house, who's our monitoring and evaluation partner. So please let us know so we can have a successful journey together in the L+EARN BIZ program. And always complete the questions from the link that will be sent by the greenhouse MA. And then our next webinar will be on the 2nd of September, same time, 9 o'clock to 12. And it's always a Friday, a wonderful Friday when we're having our. So our next topic will be financial recording, which I know a lot of people are. And then we'll do our costing and then goal setting. And then you just remember that your material will be sent to you for this, and look out for more information and content on our L+EARN BIZ Facebook group. Please, let's keep on going to our Facebook group. There's so much content, information, and I think all of us, we are always learning. So please, and then the recording will definitely be sent to you, and the presentation also WhatsApp groups and your Facebook group, like I said, also emails, because Nogupila will be talking to you. So thank you. I cannot wait to see you on our next webinar. So